1959, nearly there. Oh, 11, goodness. Well, I'm just watching the clock. Little clock thing. Tick, tick, tick. 12 of you. Hello, 12 of you. Now, I need to be able to see the chat, don't I? Yes, there's the chat, and there you are, lovely people. Lovely, lovely people. Fantastic. Hello, Ida. Hello, Susie. Hello, Tom. And hello, George Burdell. Fantastic. Right. Are we there yet? We are. 8 o'clock. Good evening. Hello, everybody. This was going to be Love and Pancakes. It's Love and Postponed Pancakes because Darling Daughter Pippa is Miggy tonight. Her, not me. So poor Pips. And since it was her idea to have a pancake challenge, it would not have been fair to do it on my own without her. So I have deferred the pancakes. And it is, so it's just songs and burble tonight. But I had a little look through a wad of old song lyrics that I found in a folder and picked out a couple of things that I haven't done for years, which I hope will amuse you tonight. So there's a little bit more on the silly side. There's one or two smooshy things and some very broad kind of definitions of love. I decided, well, it comes down to, you know, things I love. What do I love? What do I love? You know, I love food. I love horses. I love friends. I love crafting. I love playing the fiddle. I love lots of things. All sorts of songs about love. So I'll begin with this one. Some of you have seen on my Facebook that I've so missed singing with people. I would never have imagined that singing harmony would be a thing that I could lose, that would be taken away. I don't think any of us saw that coming. And I know many of you are missing other things, ways of interacting, ways of meeting with people, which have been part of your regular social life that were things that you never thought would stop. For me, it's singing harmony and playing music with people. So I came up with this whimsical notion that when we're able to gather again, wouldn't it be lovely? Wouldn't it? No, don't sing that, copyright. To meet and sing songs together, but in terms of greeting each other, I thought we've got a lot of parting songs. There's a lot of goodbye, farewell songs. How about a hello song? Honestly, if I see you somewhere, anywhere, train platform, bus stop, outside Greg's, in the middle of Specsavers, and I haven't seen you for months, or even if I haven't just seen you for days, if you burst into song with this, I will harmonise. And if I burst into song with this, will you harmonise? And we'll just sing? Wouldn't that be a thing if people just met and sang all over the flipping place? I really think we should do that. I really think we should do that. So I borrowed the tune of The Parting Glass for this. I have missed your voice and the lines we weave when we sing together in harmony. I have missed your voice and the joy we take. So let this song our greeting be. And oh, my friend, to hear you now is balm and healing for my soul. So while we may let voices join in hope and heart sees for us all. So that's my greeting song, and I really hope people will jump out and sing it to me, and I can harmonise, and I'll sing it to people and they'll harmonise. Okay, I had already been promising some old songs that I hadn't sung for quite some time, and I've added to that even more old songs. Let's see if I can scroll here, catch the chat. Lovely. Oh, hello, lots of lovely people. Robin, hi. Christoph, Jane, Paul, lovely. Susan, oh, grand. Okay, so I'm going to sing this one. Yep, there's love in this. There's love in this. I was so distraught at the age of about, 10, 11, when it was announced that Jon Pertwee was leaving Doctor Who, that on my best notepaper, which I had been given one Christmas, because that was definitely a thing, one got given at Christmas, I wrote a letter to the BBC telling them how sad I was and how they shouldn't let him go. And I cried on it. I so love Jon Pertwee. Now, a lot of you have heard my Sarah Jane song, but this may be new to some of you and old to others. It's called First Hero. Weren't you always the gentleman, first hero of my girlhood? A connoisseur of danger, in your cloak, your lace and your velvet. Oh, you charmed me, how you charmed me, gentle, debonair and vain. And how I wish I'd been there with you, like Liz and Jo and Sarah Jane. I would have made no compromise, I would have followed blindly. I've done what you had asked me to, and stayed where you would find me. If they caught you, I would save you, caring more than you would know, as did all your last companions, Sarah Jane and Liz and Jo. Sometimes the fool, sometimes the pearl behind the throne, sometimes too long alone, sometimes too brave, sometimes too proud to bend, sometimes in luck, sometimes in tears, between the gaps, between the years, sometimes a sacrifice and sorrow at the end. While there's life, there's hope, my friend. Would you have made a gift to me of Metebelis crystals? Would you have taught me lullabies in the old Venusian tongue? Oh, I'll miss you, how I'll miss you. What heart's ease is there in this, save that I care enough to grieve for you? And so do Jo and Sarah Jane and Liz. Weren't you always the gentleman, first hero of my girlhood? I wrote that in 1996. Yes, oh crikey, it's weird going back and thinking, I wrote this in the last millennium. Time is very lumpy, more so than ever, I'm sure of it, the more we go on. Now, I wish I could find a way to automatically have this lovely conversation here scroll, but I can't, so I'm going to have to do it manually and pause and try and, there we go, and try and take in little bits of what lovely people, oh, lots of lovely people, so good to see you all, Josie, Alan, Ewan, Paul, Glyn, oh, Victoria, lovely. Now, Victoria Harvey, I must say, because we're not having pancakes here today, Victoria nobly said she would have an extra one just for me. So, you know, I appreciate that. Taking one for the team. Lovely. So, right, anyway, what comes after that? So that was First Hero. Yes, Jon Pertwee, my doctor. Okay, also from the, oh, not quite from the last century, but also going back a bit. No, I better not tap the table or it'll do weird things with the microphone. Some of you may have heard this if you were hanging around Filtcons back in the days when I was just newly hanging around Filtcons. This dates from 2002. Under Things I Love, this would have to be Things I Love, really good books that you can read again and again. And then there's the other kind, aren't there? This is meant with affection and no malice whatsoever to the writer, who may indeed be an absolutely first-class chap. I do not know. It's simply a comment on some aspects of his books. Some books thereof, anyway. Whoa, yeah, this can need sleeves rolling up, this one. All right. And it's a filk. It's a parody written to and it's a pre-existing song. And the song I nicked for this is Lanigan's Ball. So you've got to imagine the Buran, okay? Bum ba da ba da dum ba da ba da dum ba da ba da dum. In the 1980s, Stephen Donaldson wrote some books. I have 'em at home, 6 in all, and none were little, and each was a quite considerable tome. First he gave his hero leprosy, cause enough for misery there, maimed his hands and lost his family, pages full of doom and despair. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, goodness knows how many he sold. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, doom, despair, and Covenant's gold. Book the first, he ruins his rescuer. That's a theme, it happens a lot. Traipses round a magical countryside, fails to use the powers he's got. Book the second, I can't quite remember this much, the same has happened before. Traipses round a magical countryside, fails to use his powers some more. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, goodness knows how many he sold. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, doom, despair, and Covenant's gold. Bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum. That's the Buran, that's the Aberan I'm not playing. Okay. Book the third, it's war at Revelstone, doom, despair, and plenty of death. Traipses round the magical countryside, ruins the lives of anyone left. Book the fourth, and would you credit it, things are even worse than before. Traipses round the blooded countryside, does some angst and wallows in gore. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, goodness knows how many he sold. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, doom, despair, and Covenant's gold. Book the fifth, by far the worst of the nebulous quest for a magical tree. Death, despair, and everything's terrible, back empty-handed, oh dear me. Book the sixth, well I haven't finished it, not entirely certain I will. The hero's traipsing round the countryside. For all I care, he's wandering still. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, 6 long books say nothing at all. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, really you have to admire his goal. 6 long books by Stephen Donaldson, goodness knows it's miserable stuff. I've given away my Stephen Donaldson. Life's too short and once was enough. Yes. Hands up if you have actually heard that one before. Marion, I will sing the greeting song again just for you. I have missed your voice and the lines we weave when we sing together in harmony. I have missed your voice and the joy we take, so let this song our greeting be. See, you can all join in now because you know it. And oh, my friend, to hear you now is balm and healing for my soul. So while we may let voices join in hope and heartsease for us all. Pleased to note, Marion, this is attempt number 6, I'll have you know, at making a calorimetry that fits as nicely as the one you made me. I have knitted and frogged, and knitted and frogged, and knitted and frogged. I kid you not. There we go. Number 6, and I've absolutely nailed it now. Well, what comes next? So that was Covenant's Gold. As I say, no disrespect to the person of Stephen Donaldson. He may be a super bloke. There we go. Right. I actually made a note of a couple of things I wanted to mention. Oh yes, my wonderful webmistress Bethan has been adding some new songs to the online songbook. So if you do pop over at any point to www.talis.net, my website, on the online songbook, there's more things appearing. We've now got songs by alphabet. I think she's got as far as C, but she's got a lot to put in, and I keep sending her more. So if you're wanting to think, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a flip through things I haven't heard Talis sing? That's where you head over to. Okay, gonna have a peek there. So that's that. Right, I'll do another song, shall I? Oh yes. Now this one, I wrote this last year, 25th of January. So this one's, you know, just a year and a smidge old. This was kind of a response to some less than compassionate things said by certain elements of the establishment about the diversity of love and sexuality. And I thought, I'm not having that. It's wider than that. It's more diverse than that. And it's an awful lot more than what bit goes where, for goodness sake. Good grief. This is Love as a Cup of Tea. Love is the finding of beauty in the beloved's face. Love makes the joy of a duty. Love makes the giving a grace. Love is the sharp word unspoken, it's when it could so easily be. Love is the being woken with a kiss and a cup of tea. Love is a fire and a passion. Love is a hand to hold. Love is the coat round your shivering self and the full-length embrace when you're cold. Love is the hallowing tango, and love is the melting gaze. Love is the standing together, however dark the days. We are made spirit and body. We are nerves, we are bone, we are heart. And we love whom we love with our whole selves, with both public and private parts. Let spirit and body be thankful for this wonder that outstays time. While we love whom we love with our whole selves, God knows love is a gift, not a crime. And love is a constant adventure. Love changes eye to we. Love is the hallowing tango. And love, love is a cup of tea. That's with a great deal of love to all my LGBTQIA friends. Lovely, so that's that. Oh, right, at this point in proceedings, I was going to stop and have a bit of a pancake flip off with Pippa. But as you may have seen, that's not going to happen because unfortunately Pippa's not very well this evening. And since the whole pancake challenge was her idea, it would have been mean to do it without her. So some of the time in the future, we will have non-shrove pancakes just because. And then perhaps we'll see about having a live action. You see, Pippa's challenge was to toss a pancake and catch it for the first time. And my challenge was to see if I could do the same with my eyes shut. So we will do that another time. I have a little Pippa story to share, if I may. I was reminded of this the other day. It was about one time when we were at the dentist. It's not icky, I assure you. The dentist doesn't actually feature, okay? It just happened to be the waiting room there. And is it one's job to become an embarrassing parent? I think I fulfilled that. So there was this coffee machine, and there was Pippa in the big chair, and there was me in the big chair, we were waiting. And it was just her and me in the waiting room. And this coffee machine starts up. Doof, 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 doof. It starts going. So, doof, 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 doof. Flash, doof, 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 doof. Ah! I start going, and Pippa looks at me. Coffee machine shuts up. I shut up. Coffee machine stays silent. Somebody else comes into the waiting room and sits down. Pippa looks at the coffee machine. Pippa looks at me. Pippa's beaming telepathically. Mother, for goodness sake, please don't. We're both looking at the coffee machine. Doof, 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 doof. I go. Pippa looks at me. Poor chap looking at his magazine had no idea. The drama going on. Anyway, bimbly stuff of this and that. It amused me. I love that one. Right. A song. So this is a song that is not a pancake. I have many songs which are not pancakes. In fact, all my songs are not pancakes, funnily enough. Oh, I should bring down the chat. I wish it would scroll automatically, then I'd have half a chance of catching it. But unless I stop bimbling and burbling and absolutely yes, and there we go. Extra pancake, nice one, thank you. And scroll down here. Hey. There we go. Oh, I've got a request from Kerry. I might try in a bit, but I haven't got the words right in front of me. We'll see. What I'm going to do next is, among songs that are not pancakes, yeah, this is kind of an activist thing that never really got off the ground. me as a community activist, I always had rather weirder ideas than people were up for jumping in with, I think. So recently, well, in the last couple of years, the bus company used to run 2 buses through our village. It's a big village. It's about 10,000 people. It's a big village. And there was a bus that went this way and a bus that went that way, which was great because otherwise it can be a 15-20 minute walk across. And not everybody is able and fit, and some of us are pushing toddlers and some of us are pushing other people in wheelchairs, and other people might have dogs or babies or shopping or or whatever, or chronic illnesses where symptoms come and go, good days, bad days. You can't predict what day you're going to need to get to the doctor or the dentist. Sorry, dentist, bit of a theme. That's fine. I have a really good dentist. He's lovely. Anyhow, so they stopped one of the buses. Not an awful lot of notice, and it just left a lot of people high and dry. And there was the bus stop sitting on the big concrete one, and I thought we should really. I wrote this song, and I thought we should get together, have a bit of a party in the bus stop, have bunting and balloons and party poppers and cake and things, and have somebody film all this and have us sing this song. I was never able to bring it off, but for what it's worth, the bus company is Stagecoach. I don't know if you have Stagecoach around where you are. They tend to be national things, don't they, these days? Right, so this is my bus activist song. It's kind of an 80s sort of ballad, kind of, imagine the kind of 80s rock ballad thing, It's called Stagecoach, Wish You Were Here. I would have caught the bus today, but you no longer go my way. No, it's not in that key. There it is, It's very poignant song. Very moving. Except we weren't moving because we couldn't handle the bus. I would have caught the bus today, but you no longer go my way. Stagecoach, wish you were here. My prescription's at the pharmacy, but the bus stop is too far for me. Stagecoach, I wish you were here. Not all are mobile as we'd like, not all have cars or motorbike. Stagecoach, wish you were here. You used to come right down the street where straight friends and neighbours daily meet. Straightness, it's one of those days. You used to come right down this street where friends and neighbours daily meet. Stagecoach, I wish you were here. We're asking you nicely to change your decision and alter your bus routes so we can ride to another quarter miles easy when you're young and healthy. But children and shopping make it harder to do. We know you're a business, you gotta make enough profit, but this was a lifeline and the need was so clear to reach the doctor or dentist, the shops or the library. Are you listening? Stagecoach, we wish you were here. I would have caught the bus today, but you no longer go my way. Stagecoach, we wish you were here. My prescription's at the pharmacy, but the bus stop is too far for me. Stagecoach, we wish you were here. Stagecoach, we wish you were here. It's probably the closest to headbanging I've ever got in a kitchen session anyway. Yeah. I've seen a couple of little notifications of tips going up. Thank you so much. I will mention that there are buttons on my website for supporting me with, there's a Ko-fi tip jar, which is drop a couple of quid in if you think, well, that was quite fun. There we go. Let's support Talis. And there's a Patreon button for folks who want to support me on a more ongoing basis. And all of that, I hugely appreciate. And all of it helps me to do what I do, which is keep writing songs, resurrecting old songs, reworking songs, and doing music for things really without pressing people out of them. That's what I want to do. So my kitchen sessions here are the things that I do for other organisations and for conventions, for my local church. I'm doing a thing for the Green Party in a couple of weeks, and other things. It helps me to also knuckle down and work for things, work on things and know that this is kind of my job. It's what I do, it's what I'm for. And I hugely appreciate the support of those of you who are able to drop a little bit in the tip jar. And if you can't, that's absolutely fine. And say, I don't want to price myself out of, I don't want to price music out of it. And a lot of people are struggling. So, just be welcome, enjoy. Yeah, I should have probably mentioned at the beginning that there's this thing at the last verse, really I need to be two people singing the two bits simultaneously. So we've got, I would have caught the bus today at the same time as we know you're a business. So yeah, 80s kind of hair, kind of rock ballad. Yeah, you see it, right? You see it. See it, hear it, imagine it, whatever. What have we got coming here? Oh, thank you, Valerie. Right, so I have a... Oh dear, Robin, yes, quite possibly. I mean, they're each this thick, and they were grim reading back when I was a resilient teenager. Right, something else silly and seldom heard. 2010, this dated from 2010. Now, what happened in 2010 was the Icelandic volcano went up. And if you remember, people were grounded, travel was grounded very suddenly. Lots of people were stranded in, all the wrong places. I was at that time very involved in a sort of a knitting community, and there was an awful lot of people putting up posts saying, we're here, we live in so-and-so, we have a spare room if there's any knitters stranded in, Colchester or Cheltenham or wherever we happen to be. It was lovely. It was... Looking back on it now, it's like, oh, yeah, there was that. And now there's this with the pandemic. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to challenge myself to write a song about the Icelandic volcano eruption. So, of course, first I had to learn to say the name of the thing, didn't I? Which is why the song's title, and it's a filk, it nicks a well-known folk tune, it's called How Do You Say That Again? You'll know the tune. I fiattle a yuckettle, no more contrail over the capital. Pretty soon the pound in your pocket'll suffer if this goes on. I'm glad I'm not stranded in China or Zanzibar, Singapore, Delhi or Ghana or Malaga. Given what's happening, who'd want to go that far? How do you say it again? I fiattle a yuckettle, no more contrail over the capital. Pretty soon the pound in your pocket'll suffer if this goes on. It's terribly bad for the African growers of fruits, of vegetables, likewise of flowers. If they could grow their food and we could grow ours. Now how do you say that again? It's I fiattle a yuckettle, no more contrail over the capital. Pretty soon the pound in your pocket'll suffer if this goes on. This is just ash from a baby volcano. We're grounded from Finland to Eastern Gordana. Will Big Sister Katla be wakened again? Oh, remind me how it goes again. I fiattle a yuckettle, no more contrail over the capital. Pretty soon the pound in your pocket'll suffer if this goes on. I fiattle a yuckettle, no more contrails over the capital. No one to blame for this massive hiccup at all. How do you say that again? File that under finding really, really dreadful ways to rhyme things with things that you can't rhyme with. So that was a giggle. Yes, I've been going through watches of old things and going, I certainly haven't done that at a kitchen session. Things I haven't sung for years. It's great fun. It's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you to drag these things out and go, let's see if I can remember the tune. Let's see if I can, find my way into the song and do stuff that's fresh for me because I haven't done it for years. Sometimes what I find is I'm bringing out something that's has never actually grown a tune. And in the process of thinking about it for a kitchen session, some songs have leapt into life, all fresh and new, like Pomona Persephone did a few weeks ago. Right, I'm gonna go off piste with the set list. Oh, well, okay, Kerry, this is it's kind of a solstice Christmas song, but it could just as well be all the year round, couldn't it? This is it's a Christo-pagan. Let's see if I can find my way into it. Kerry has requested The Road to Avebury. I need to remember what key I could sing it in. You'll get as much as I can remember of it, my dear. Let's see what I can do. I followed the road to Avebury. A white horse strode beside, and wished and willed a kinder world. This bright midwinter tide, this bright midwinter tide. Followed the stones to Avebury to hear what they might say, that love and hope and grace abide on this midwinter day, this bright midwinter day. Welcome, pilgrim, welcome home, past the ridgeway and the stones. Love will pave the way all along the road to Avebury. I followed the moon to Avebury. Love was all our sacrament this blessed Christmas Eve, and I followed Orion to Avebury. Fellowship abides, fellowship abides. Welcome, pilgrim, welcome home, past the ridgeway and the stones. Love will pave the way all along the road to Avebury. Welcome, pilgrim, welcome home, past the ridgeway and the stones. Love will pave the way all along the road to Avebury. Love will pave the way all along the road to Avebury. There you go, Kerry, darling. That's what you call an individual and unique performance of that particular song. There, where have we got to? Where have we got to? Yes, I did those two. I think I'll hold off on that for a moment. Oh, yes. Loosely on the theme of things I love. Well, okay, so the Road to Avebury was written about assorted trips from where I live down to Avebury, where you go past the Ridgeway, there's the Hatpen Hill White Horse, right through to the Stones. It's a wonderful, magical, ancient landscape, and it speaks to me so much. And as many of you know, I've pagan as I am, I've found a very happy home at the Avebury Church. They've made my music welcome, and I've made some wonderful friends there. And it's been wonderful to find fellowship in music with people of goodwill, of a different shaped faith, where the important thing is the love. That's what I found there. Okay, this is time for the capo, isn't it? Things I love. I do love a good story. There's a lot of the old mythology of this country. Whilst my paganism is very patchwork, the mythology of this country has sort of very much sunk into my bones. This is one of my very few songs about the Arthurian cycle. I wrote this after a trip down to Glastonbury. It's a song I use in songwriting workshops, actually, because of what the melody and rhythm does. But I'll come back to that afterwards. First I'll burp, then I'll drink, then I'll sing. Okay. It's called The Well. There is a hill, and from its roots there grows a holy spring, where I was a lady of the lake, and you all Britain's king. Ooh, ooh. There is a spring, and where it flows resides a sacred well, where I brought water to your lips as apple blossom fell. Ooh, ooh. There is a well, and where it stands a garden grows around, and you were every patient night while I was lost and found. Ooh, ooh. There is a garden, green and fair, where you and I have been. Walk with me there once more, my love, and let me be your queen. Walk with me there once more, my love, and let me be your queen. I have a huge fondness for that one. So the thing I say about that, oh yes, songwriting, things I love. Songwriting, oh my goodness, and almost more than songwriting is song fixing, song tweaking, getting in there with a toolkit and trying to make them better, figuring out what doesn't work, what's worth keeping, what needs changing around. It's something I'm going to be working on, particularly for some videos for my patrons really soon. And I'm really excited about that, because that's about giving myself permission to set time apart, to sit down and spend time working on songs that haven't quite leapt off the page yet. I'm really looking forward to that. I've got a whole bunch that, I know they need work, but I don't always go back and fix them, It's kind of on with the next thing. So the thing about the well, right? So if you've heard me expound on this and songwriting, if you write, I'm a words first writer. So you write a lyric, and then you're going tune hunting for what melody to hang it on. So I wrote this. There is a hill, and from its roots there grows a holy spring, where I was lady of the lake, and you all Britain's king. De-dum, 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 de-dum. That is the rhythm I first heard when I wrote the words of this. It was the rhythm that it seems to naturally occupy. So that was how I went looking for music. But any set of notes that I put to that shape of rhythm did not carry the words with enough depth and grace and dignity for what I was really wanting to make of it. So I discarded all the tune ideas that I had as soon as they came out. They didn't mean enough. They didn't carry enough love in them. They didn't have roots that went far enough down. De-dum, 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 de-dum. And then I wasn't pushing it to do this, but what this song did then was to fall out of my mouth going, there is a hill, and from its roots there grows a holy spring, which is how I sing it. There is a hill, and from its roots there grows a holy spring. Oh, I thought, that's what you want, that's how you go. And it's just this simple little phrase, but it gives the words space, and it gives the words a place to stand in dignity so that you receive them more slowly. And as you take in the pictures, they aren't tumbling one over the other. They're presenting themselves to you and then sort of bowing, and then the next one comes up. That's how it feels to me when I sing it. And it wanted that stretching out. So different to dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. But I wouldn't have thought of putting a set of words that did that into diddly-dum, 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 dum, dum, which is what it actually is. So there you go, The Well. I love this song for what it taught me about stretching words into different shapes, because having had this jump up and do it at me, I could see at least to try it with other things since, where I've had a good set of words in a kind of 4-square rhythmic line that hasn't served them melodically and rhythmically, then I know to tease them apart a little bit, to find some spaces, to see which ones want to sit on their own. And that's helped me, I think, to make some better songs out of what would have otherwise perhaps been a little bit more trite if I'd just given them the dee-dum, 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 dee-dum treatment. There you go, The Well, and me on songwriting. Oh, now I know this is new to a lot of you. Some of you know that I'm working on some music for, it's actually doing piece for the end credits now, for a short film that is directly inspired by a song of mine. I am so excited about this. A young director called Scar Ward, they came across my song on Bandcamp, and their brain spiraled off the story in a new direction, which is great. That's lovely. And they've put this film together, they got in touch with me, and it's lovely. Anyhow, so I'm working on the end credits, which means kind of rewriting the song completely by just picking out certain bits that work and making it be exactly the right number of seconds long, and making this bit do that and that bit do that. It's very, very constrained, which is really an exciting challenge for me as a songwriter, and I'm enjoying it hugely. We've been watching in recent weeks some documentaries about the making of Frozen 2, which I love. And I love Frozen. I love Frozen 2 and the songs in them, written by Kristen Anderson-Lopez and her husband, whose name escapes me. But there was an awful lot of behind the scenes about, they'd write this song and then somebody would come back and say, well, we like this bit, but that bit doesn't work. And we've decided that these words have to be different, and we need something that does this instead of that, and, whoosh instead of splat. And which is kind of how I talk in terms of songwriting. It's whoosh and splat and spiky things. And it was lovely to see this behind the scenes writing collaboration and see how she would pull apart the song and find new bits, and I got very excited. So this last week I've been channeling and playing at being Kirsten Anderson-Lopez and working on my song and pulling bits out for a film. Now, it's not actually the first film I've been involved with. The first film I was involved with is a short film called The Threshold, and Tony Gren is the I believe director of that. And this is a song that I prepared for that. Again, it was used in bits, so there are little snippets of it that appeared throughout. But the actual song as a whole thing has never really had an outing. This is the smooshy one, because it was a song about some will you, won't you lovers, will you walk out the door while I invite you back in, kind of, So anyway, so this will be new to you. This is a bit of a smoosher. So if you don't fancy smoosh, now's when you go and make your cup of tea. And that's fine. All right, let's see what happens. This is from 2010, and I haven't sung this one I've never really gigged it. wear your name on my tongue. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, you'd be the chorus of every song I'd ever sung. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, you'd stand and watch me from the back of my own mind. I'd know when you were smiling at me, though I be struck blind. I'd bring my hurts to you for mending, for I'd know you to be kind. If we were lovers. I'd wear your face in my eyes. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, we would be ancient and new, both fools and wise. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, through stained glass chambers and through green and meadowed land, past sleeping dragons, oh, if my hand were in your hand, fearless and full of light, I'd stand where you would stand. If we were lovers. I'd lay my soul at your feet. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, and the fire we made would scorch us with its heat. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, I would know no fear, no sorrow, no regret. How I would celebrate you every time we met. And I would tell you plain I love you, if you didn't know that yet. If we were lovers. I'd wear your name on my tongue. You'd be the chorus of every song I'd ever sung. And like a treasure I had never thought to find, you shine in the kingdom of my mind. And I would trust you to be gentle, for I'd know you to be kind. If we were lovers, if we were lovers, if we were lovers. You can come back from making the tea now, all safe, smoosh over. Right, I am off-piste with the list here, aren't I? Not to worry. How are we doing? There we go. Oh, I'll have a look at my messages. See if there's any more. Oh, right. Thank you, George. I should have a look at that. Yes, the space between notes, which I believe is the title of Sonny Larson's album. And if it is, and I think it is, and Sonny is awesome, go look her up. She's wonderful. She's a fiddler. Josie, glad you like that. Oh, Martina has flipped 2 pancakes. Yes, but did you catch them? Did you catch them? That's what we want to know. It's one thing to toss them, but do you catch them? There we go. Right, bringing that down. Yes, lovely. Just trying to catch up on the chat because, you know, something like a request comes in. Obviously, if I can, I'd like to be able to do that. Right, well, I've only got a couple left, my lovelies. Let's have a look. Couple left that I was planning for tonight. This is, yeah, definitely under things I love. Books I genuinely do love. My secret vice, not so secret vice, is girls' books from the first half of the last century. And it's not all Midnight Feast in the Dorm, honest. Elsie J. Oxenham wrote a huge number of books which feature very, very much her knowledge of and her association with, close association with Cecil Sharp and all the folks who put together the in the early days of the English Folk Song and Dance Society, people who, you know, went out doing dancing for the troops and, you know, in between the wars and all of that, went around collecting things and, you know, in different parts up and down the country. George Butterworth, oh my goodness, oh my heart, Bank of Green Willows and all of that. Anyhow, Elsie wrote a whole lot of books, and whilst there are some elements that obviously have dated, you know, some of them are pretty much 100 years old now. She was writing a long time ago. A lot of it is just very wholesome and very lovely, and there's a great deal of handicraft and a great deal of folk dancing and a great deal of singing, and I love all of that. I love all of that immensely. There's one particular passage in one particular book where somebody is talking about going to the folk dance sessions and classes in London, and these are absolutely rooted in how they happened. Elsie J. Oxenham describes all the people who were teachers at the time. She gives them all nicknames, but who was where and who was teaching what is absolutely nailed down accurate. So, without further ado, I'll shush and get a song in after a bit of glug. By the way, I think this evening has probably had more songs that some of you have never heard before than some of my other kitchen sessions have. I'm not going to run out of songs. I've got a lot of songs, but there's you know, the songs that I've done regularly at gigs. Well, there's the songs I do regularly at gigs in the last few years. There's songs I did regularly at gigs a few years before that. There's songs I did regularly ages before that, and then there's all the ones that never leapt off the page. So I do enjoy, and I hope you enjoy, the being able to wander through some things that haven't been, you know, so much, haven't had so many outings. It's fun for me to bring them to life and be reminded of stuff, of, you know, who I was and what I was into and things that I wrote years ago. So new and different repertoire. That's what yes, that's the proper phrase. I'm blathering, aren't I? Okay. Take the capo off. Right, capo setting, very important. So this song is called The Lock, and it's dedicated to all the women in my young days and other generations' young days who spent so much time running clubs for other people's girls to go and learn folk dancing or have Sunday school or do knitting or do other crafting or do drama or do brownies and guides and all these other things. My childhood was very much peppered with women who did all these things, and, you know, going back earlier through last century, it was something a great many women did, this whole concept of looking after other people's daughters. The Lock. We'll be doing swords on Tuesdays, 8 till 9. If you don't have any gym things, I'll lend you some of mine. The teacher, dear Miss Oxenham's, as kind as she can be. We'll be doing swords on Tuesdays, come with me. We'll be doing swords on Tuesdays, come with me. It's a tram to Chelsea and the class meets at the Y. There's an early group for country, I can make both the five fly. Miss Oxenham, our teacher, she's just a perfect dear. She writes the most delightful books for girls year after year. She writes the most delightful books for girls year after year. Marjorie and Mabel, Peggy, Pam and Joan waved their brothers off to war, finished growing up alone. They ran girls' clubs and Sunday schools, campfire and the guides. They were splendid women all, and they were dead men's brides. Tuesday, and didn't I just shout? The 6 of us with wooden swords, we wove them in and out. It's very old and English, though the Scots have theirs as well. And when the rose was lifted high, it made me yell. And when the rose was lifted high, it made me yell. Other people's daughters would be grateful all their lives for the gifts of time and teaching at the hands of dead men's wives. They ran folk dance clubs and knitting groups, sewed coats for Morris sides. These were splendid women all, hard-working, clever women all, and these were dead men's brides. And when the rose was lifted high, it made me yell. Sometimes dance can do that. There have been times when I've witnessed something dance oriented. It just made me want to jump up and down and yell with the energy of it. I've had that as a result of seeing certain Morris dance, certain Morris dance, Border Morris. Oh, I love Border particularly. There's a group called Boggart's Breakfast. I hope they're still together. Who do a particularly energetic style of Border Morris with its all arms and legs and great big drums and tailcoats flashing and blue makeup and hats and feathers and masks and all sorts of wonderful things. And when Pippa was a lot smaller than she is now, we'd gone along to the Chippenham Folk Festival, which I believe this year is combining with, I think it's Chester Folk Festival, and they're having an online Chester for I don't know, but they're having an online version of a folk festival this year. Anyhow, Chippenham Folk Festival, and we've gone along with Pippa, and I've been telling her about Boggart's Breakfast. And what happens at Chippenham is that they get, troops from all over the country, and there'll be, I don't know, 20 or more of them, 30 of them in any given year. And as I was telling her about Boggart's Breakfast, we came round a corner where there happened to be some dancing happening on one of the open public stages. And flip, it was Boggart's Breakfast. So I gulped and said, oh my goodness, it's them. Pippa yelled, Boggart's Breakfast! And she ran forward to get closer to watch. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I think that was her Sonic moment, wasn't it? Oh, I've got to tell you the Sonic thing now. I shall embarrass my son. He's not watching. You're not watching, are you, Corin? When Corwin was very small, and even when Corwin was quite medium-sized, what Corwin loved was Sonic the Hedgehog. We lived in Bristol, where every year there would be the balloon fiesta, and where we lived was on top of quite a hill, so we'd have a lovely view outside of our sitting room window, and also if we went outside and just crossed over the road where there was a bit of grass we could sit, and we'd see the balloons go all over the city. Of course, it wouldn't just be the balloon-shaped balloons, but there'd be all sorts of other things that the wonderful Cameron balloon factories had made into. There was the pair of jeans one year, there was a Paddington Bear, there was a fireplace and a Thomas the Tank Engine and all sorts of things. And you'd look out for the special-shaped ones, especially with the ones that you knew you were guesting in, this year. And Corwin was very little enough to have on my hip as a little tot. So there he was, whoops, there we go, there he was on my hip, right, and I got him there, and we're looking, oh, there's the so-and-so, oh, there's the such and such, yeah, oh, there's a thing in the distance, how many can we see? And across the road from us was a church. As we're standing there watching one year, he was very small, his voice was very high, this is a feature, from behind the church rose first the blue spikes, and then slowly, the whole damn hedgehog. Corwin's eyes went big as Sonic in the sky! actually screeched it in my ear. I swear I was deaf for a week. Sonic in the sky! He had seen his God. Oh my goodness. It was just so wonderful. Just rose up behind the church, you know, as if he'd come to pay a visit to Corwin, you know. It was amazing. It was lovely. So yeah, Corwin and Sonic the Hedgehog, Pippa and Boggart's breakfast. Unexpectedly there. All right, I'm coming towards the end now. I'm going to do one more. Thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in. Thank you for coming along and keeping me company. Thank you for your comments and suggestions, and I will go back and read them all and, you know, reply more appropriately than I can when I'm dipping in and out and trying to read as it goes past. Thank you so much for joining me on my kitchen sessions. I really look forward to putting them together and to presenting them. And I know that a lot of you enjoy them as well. You've said some wonderful things to me, which I really treasure. We've all got to cling on to the, you know, whatever nice things work for us at the moment. And for me, that's putting together little online sets like this, where I know that a whole bunch of you sit there with knitting or crochet or making this and that. I think Lynn's got her hedgehogs and various other people. You do put up pictures of what you're crafting, you know, because we all want to see that. We do. We want to see that. And it's there's a little bit of pretend in it, isn't there? But it's none the worse for that. It just feels like we're in a big sitting, you know, big cozy sitting space with cups of tea and knitting, and I'm burbling about this and that. And, you know, we've got songs going to and fro. And it's giving me a real joy to hold on to. And propel me forward as well with new songs and dragging out old ones. So thank you. This will stay here on Facebook, where I've first presented it. This is what they do. I leave them there so you can come back, you can watch it again whenever. And then Simon is also transferring them over to YouTube, where they're on they're on the Kitchen Sessions playlist of the Talis Kimberley channel. And if you happen to go look at them on YouTube, if you fancy doing the like and subscribe thing, I appreciate it very much. It helps us to unlock more facilities and tools to do things on YouTube in due course. And if you don't, that's fine too. Anyhow, so I'm going to stop babbling now. I'm going to do one more song and then run away and get a cup of tea myself, I think. So thank you all so much for keeping me company. If you know this one, then sing along. I have to finish with this because, yeah, love and pancakes. Love and postponed pancakes it's been, but that's all right. That's really okay. No, I won't make you cry with a story of where this comes from. If you know, great. If not, I'll tell you another day. But this song is There Is Only Love. Beyond the beach, beyond the sky, beyond the sea, there is only love, there is only love. A restful place, some gentle grace, and sanctuary, there is only love, there is only love. And on that shore where every one of us will stand, there is only love, there is only love. The blessed infinite will hold us in its hand. There is only love, there is only love. There is only love, and hope is love, and grief is love, and joy is love as well. There is only love, all else we leave behind, till only love remains to tell. We are thrown into life like pebbles in a pond. There is only love, there is only love. And still the ripples spread and grow when we are gone. There is only love, there is only love. There is only love. We sing it and we say it, and we show it while we can. There is only love, all else we leave behind upon that final shining strand. Beyond the beach, beyond the sky, beyond the sea, there is only love, there is only love, there is only love. There is only love, there is only love. There is only love. Stay warm, stay safe, stay kind. Come and meet me again here. Thank you for your company. Good night.